Hello and welcome back to another episode here on the OmathaCraft Season 4 server. It is episode 15, and in today's episode we are going to be working back over here at the Taskmaster project. Now in today's episode I want to do one of the last big projects we need to do over here before we do all the sort of finishing touches and before the game show can actually begin. Now as you can see, I have a beacon now set up around here, and we are going to head down that hole to see what we're going to be doing in today's episode. So what we're going to do is we're going to sweep down this hole just here and find out what's at the bottom. Okay, so down here at the bottom you will see that I'm beginning to mark out a space, and this space has 5 different slots, and these are all 10 blocks wide for a bit of perspective, because in those 10 block gap, 5 10 blocks gap, which is 50 blocks, we are going to be building some big industrial size counters. So let's head to my testing world and take a look at these counters and see how much redstone resources this is going to make require us to gather. And then we got to dig out such a massive space. This is going to be about 10 blocks high, and it must be about 70 blocks wide or so, and we probably will extend off in that direction as well. It's going to be a big dig, a big redstone construction project, and hopefully today we're going to make loads and loads of progress. So let's head over to my testing world and take a look at these counters. Okay, so these are the counters we are going to be building in today's episode. So we are going to be digging out space for these things, and these are going to be the score counters. So there'll be one for each contestant, which will be announced very soon. I'm very excited to announce them and actually begin this game show with them, but that is all coming in the near future. But these are the contestants' score counters. So at the end of the series, whoever has the most points on the score counter wins. Really simple idea, but yeah, this is what we need to build. And as you can see, it's compact, but it's quite a few redstone resources when you realise I'm going to have to make, well, 5, and then you got to double that, so that's 10 different, that's 10 of these counters. Okay, so there we go. I have dug a really big hole down where we put the beacon, and as you can see, it stretches for a fair old while, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different displays for the 5 different contestants. And I think in the future I will actually extend that all backwards, so we've got a bit more space to play with, because I feel like I'd like to be able to see all 5 screens when I stand back. So I'm actually thinking this is going to be an absolute gigantic underground space, which I think is going to be really cool. And if we come behind it, you will see that we obviously have the display set up, and we actually have a cave spider spawner over there, so at some point we might have to make use of this, but it's there if we want it. I'm not sure what we'll want it for, but we have it as an option. And if we come around the front, as we can see, we have obviously a lot of redstone to do, and I have been very busy. I've been very busy collecting up loads and loads of redstone resources. Now I think I'm probably missing some stuff, but I think this should be a good proportion of the resources we need. We have all the redstone sort of dust supplies in block form, because that's easier to compact it down. We have all the cauldrons we're going to need, all the pistons, repeaters, and the comparators that I think we're going to need. Now I hope we have enough. So I think all we now need to do is I am off to go and record the second Minecraft Earth video. So once I'm back from that, we are going to head back on the server and actually start constructing all of these. And I tell you what, it's going to be one mammoth redstone project. Okay, so I have been busy, and if we head round the back, as you can see, I have begun the construction. And wow, this looks actually so cool. I love how this looks. I mean, look at it. I just love the bulkiness of it. It's something about this redstone. It looks so good. So what we've done so far is we have laid down sort of the comparators and the redstone dots, which will be powering the lamps at the front. So that's been done for each 10 of the displays. And as we can see, they are all in place. So these will detect the cauldrons. And when they detect the cauldrons with the different water levels in, that will then fill up and light up those lamps there. So now this circuit down here, this is going to be the activation circuit for the piston loop. That's the one, piston loop. I think that's the word. I can't think of the word. There is a word for it. So down here, this is the activation for the piston loop, or whatever we're deciding to call it. And as you can see, this has now been laid into every single one of these. And I will make sure I'm putting a link to the video and tutorial I'm using down in the description. This is really well done. And now I believe it is by a guy called Mine Things. I believe that is their YouTube channel name, and it's the smallest 7-segment display tutorial, apparently. So yeah, as you can see, it's really compact. And what we're now going to do is just continue cracking on with things as it's going really well. After a lot of time and effort, we have the first one fully complete, and I haven't tested it yet, and I want to see if it works. I'm quite excited. Now, it just reminded me that I think we have missed one last block, and Toasted is not having a good time in the end. Not at all. He keeps getting out there to try and rescue his stuff and keeps dying. Toasted. Toasted, good luck. He has been struggling for a while now, but we're going to place a comparator in just there. That has actually activated the system, meaning the system should be on 10. Now, let's go around to the front. Now, I've only built up the first one with all the cauldrons, all the water, and it's actually quite finicky getting all the right cauldrons in the right place, the glass and the solid blocks all in the right place, and as you can see, that is now on 10. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to come down here, we're going to press the button, goes into 11, and we're going to work our way up. And take 3. Maybe I've done it right this time. Right, so we're on 30. Let's see if we can get up to 40. So we're on 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40! Yes! My hands went straight up in the air. Now, I found out what the issue was. The issue was I placed the comparator in the wrong position. Now, I placed it up here on a block when it's meant to be coming out of this source here. But because we built them with a 2-block gap in between, not a 1-block gap, it does mean that we need to have an extra repeater here. So it's a double repeater there. So what I'm going to go down the system and do is I will go down to all the other circuits and put this in place. And what's going on there? Can I please? No, I can't crawl through. I thought this... Please, let me, thank you. So yeah, if we run over here, we will see that we can replace that repeater and put that repeater there, that redstone there, and then we can place 2 more blocks in like this. We can grab our comparators, place our comparators down there, and add our redstone dust just like that, and that will link up the systems working properly. Absolutely brilliant, and I've done it just before the restart. And there we go, we have 5 displays up and running. Now we're going to test them. I have set them all to 99 and hopefully they're all going to flick over to 0. So let's find out. I'm going to hit that button there. 0, 0, brilliant. So that is the first contestant done. That is the second contestant done. I'm so glad to see those 2 working. Yeah, that one's working. That one's working. Get in! Yes, there we go. We have the 5 displays up and running. They are all set to 0. Now what I want to do is I am going to have a mess around and work out what I want to do with the design for the room. Now I'm thinking to go along with the red concrete theme that we were going up in the studio, up at the top, which we'll go and take a look at in a minute and try and get some inspiration from that. But I'm thinking what we do is we can wipe out... I think we should get rid of this white concrete, maybe change that for a different kind of block, because I feel like it's a bit too modern for what we're going for. We're going for the more red and gold kind of theme. More rich, not just white. So I'm going to have a mess around with some ideas of what we're going to actually use to design this place. Once we've done that, we'll head down here and let's start building. Now, after a lot... and I mean a lot of resource gathering, we have this built up, and I actually really quite like this. It's continuation of the theme we have up at the surface, up at the studio, and I really love the look of it. I think it's looking really, really good. Obviously, we have the 5 displays, and we have our floor underneath. We're using the red concrete powder again, and we're also using gold, which was the thing that obviously took the longest. Now, these bats are driving me mental, and come on. Yeah, got one. There we go. I found a mending book in a chest because we're actually in a mine shaft. This area around here is all a mine shaft, which actually helped out with digging quite a bit because a lot of the space, as you can see, there's a ravine here which is also very open, which makes it really nice and easy. But I found a golden apple and a mending book, which is always quite nice. I don't mind that any day of the week. And now I'm stuck back here, so we're just going to break through here. I have actually removed the buttons on the sides just there for the time being because when I'm walking along I press them a couple of times and that means resetting the entire system, which is a massive pain in the butt. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess around with ideas of what we're going to do on the sides, because obviously we've got this big wall here, the ceiling, and that end wall down there. I have an awesome idea of how we're going to get in and out of this place, which we'll look at in a little bit, and we've got some research and all that kind of and testing to do after this, which I'm really excited to go into. But firstly, we obviously need to get this room finished. So I'm going to have a play around and see what I can come up with. And there we go, we have some walls, we have the logo down at the bottom, and we have a ceiling. Now for the ceiling, what I did is instead of using concrete powder and maybe string underneath, I decided to go for red wool, which to be fair looks basically kind of the same. You don't see much of a difference, and to be honest, a little bit texture up there that's a bit different, I think makes all the difference, which looks really good. Anyway, so this part of the room is actually done, which I think is looking really, really nice. The only other changes I've added is we have these lights now in the side of the walls, and I've also added them over on this side, and it's glowstone behind some trap doors. So yeah, I think this part is looking really, really nice. Now over here we have, well, a part that's not looking as nice. Now I'm thinking, I've just been looking at this, and this thought's just come into my head. Let me just do some calculations and work out how big this gap is, and maybe we could do some kind of mega piston door or something there. I think that might look really, really cool. Oh yes, we so need to do a 5x5 piston door there. I haven't done really any big piston doors in ages, and I really want to do one. So you know what, I think it's time to take down the beacon, and let's go and find a design for a 5x5 piston vault door maybe? Because this could be like the vault of scores, which is basically what it is. So yeah, maybe, yeah, let me go look up some designs, because I'm now really excited about this. I want to do more redstone. Okay, so before I show you what we've been up to, or what we haven't been up to, I'd like to firstly point out, number one, I am now using some shaders which make everything a little bit brighter, so you might notice there is a bit of a difference between the last clip and this clip. That is why. These will be used from now onwards, so you'll get used to it. And the second thing is, I am here to announce the OmathaCraft Season 4 Stream Day. This is to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of OmathaCraft. It started on the 6th of October 2017, and the 6th of October 2019 is coming up just around the corner. And on the screen now you can see the stream day plan, and as you can see we have 3 people different streaming, all streaming for around 2 hours. We have myself, followed by Orange, followed by Ninten. Now as you can see we have all of the times on the screen. If you are in a different time zone, use a time zone converter and you convert that into your own time and see when it is. Please join in. I'm going to post this in loads of different videos that we do over the channel running up to this event. It's going to be really good fun. We're all going to be here on the server doing all kinds of bits and pieces, so make sure you tune into that. Anyways, let's jump back around. As you can see, unfortunately I've been spending so much time designing slime block elevators and piston doors, and unfortunately I've been really struggling to get it work, and I have run out of time for today's episode. But in the next episode we'll sort that out, and we're actually going to finish up this Taskmaster project, which I'm really excited about. It means we can actually begin on Taskmaster, and it's going to be such a fun series. I've got some awesome plans for this. But as I said, this is going to be it for today's episode, so if you have enjoyed, please leave a like as it really helps out the channel a lot, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.